Jesus Christ. So, today we are talking about Flavor by Joseph Keatinge with art by Hook Jin Clark. Or Wook Jin
Yes,
Clark.
Ocean Clark. Yes, which love the art in this. I
I,
absolutely.
I also love the art in this. It reminds me of a Noel Stevenson book that we did on this show, and I just can't remember the name.
Nimona.
Not Nimona. There was another one. You know what else it reminds me of? Squirrel Girl.
It does. That's also true.
But the art's very good. I haven't read the book to its entirety because I don't have $11.
How much did you read of it?
I read the first issue.
Okay, cool. That's at least something.
It's
Yay.
okay. So you know what I'm kind of getting from this? It looks like it's inspired by, like, at least artistically wise, by Avatar. Like the last
You know
Airbender.
what?
The last
Sure,
Airbender.
sure. Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Just the not just the people, but like the scenery, the background. It just reminds me of like the Avatar: The Last Airbender comics.
Oh yeah, definitely. As yeah.
So so Bree pitched this to me for this show
Yes,
as
yes. This I actually had this comic in the wings for a while. I just uh, this book is here's the thing. This book has no action in it, and I actually talked to one of my friends about that. I was like, would it be okay to do a D&D book if it has like no action and it's mostly just roleplay for the
I'm
most part?
I'm fine with it. It I'm cool with comic books that have no action in it. It de- despite what my fucking D&D, what any D&D campaign I run is, I do like my comics to be not so action heavy. Like, I like my Batman to be a detective and not just punch random people on the street. That's essentially Batman,
Punch
right?
random guy, punch random people on the street. Hey, hey, hey! Person walking out of the grocery store. Ah, punch!
You have feasted. You have eaten all of Gotham's wealth. It's like, you're talking to random poor people, Batman. I'm rehearsing.
We're all rehearsing here.
But I
No
do.
one has to have that deep voice.
Are you saying I'm going too deep? Do I need to go higher like this?
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. You
Well,
know, once in a while, you don't have to have a deep voice. Sometimes you can have like,
I mean,
I don't know, a happier voice.
is this voice scary?
Yeah, definitely. Uh,
You're not just lying to me, right?
no, yeah, I'm never not lying to you at all.
All right, I'll stick with I'll stick with this voice then. You have eaten Gotham's wealth. Anyways, let's talk about this weird book about a chef in a D&D type world.
Yes, that's what I would call this. This is D&D chef book.
But you know what? Not the worst thing. The art is fantastic. It I can whenever they show like any of the food that they serve. All right. When they show the food, any of the food that they serve, okay. fucking A. It's like I can smell it. I'm just trying to say it looks really pretty.
Yes, yes, it is. I I really enjoyed like a lot of the scenes of the cooking, like things that are going on from like the little cooking. But like there's one scene happening later on, like in issue 3, I think, where like you see like because like you have these two characters, you have the main character, the chef character, and you have this other character who is like joining this academy for chefs, and there's this scene of like them both getting ready for like this cooking competition. Like she's having a cooking competition like outside in like the slum area, and he's actually having the cooking competition in like the actual academy. And you see the parallel of them getting ready the food and like each of them like preparing their ingredients and the panels are like parallel each other.
It's a very pretty book, which I do appreciate for like comic books now. Comic books now aren't pretty. They're kind of bleh. Uh, th- there are. I will always admit that there are always going to be some outliers to that theory of like, hey, you know what? I like this guy's art, but I don't really like this guy's art. For me, it's always going to be, hey, I like Greg Capullo, while people might not like it, which I always find weird. But I understand that I don't like John Romita Jr.
I also don't like John Romita Jr.
uh, and it's not like his early work. I do appreciate his early work for like JMS or Punisher or that kind of stuff. It is his newer work which I find over stylized and kind of just like Batman. Every time I see him draw Batman, his ears are either too giant or too small.
You're
But
not wrong.
uh, for this, Wook Jin Clark gets proportions correct. Like
Yes. Yeah,
nobody
you can continue
looks
on actually.
nobody looks like too pretty.
Also agree with that. Uh, let's see something here. Because as far as done, I think they did a Adventure Time comic. They're like this one is still definitely getting like decent amount of work right now,
Good, I'm
despite
glad.
like this book being canceled.
Oh, so it did get canceled.
Yes, this book got canceled.
Cause I
This is
got
a six
confused.
issue book.
Cause I got confused when it said volume 1. I'm like, oh, there must be more coming. And I was like, nope.
This came out in 2018. It's 6 issues long. It ends on a massive cliffhanger, and there's no more. And I read every issues. 'Cause every issue has an author's page, and they usually if there's gonna be like a part 2, they usually they usually like tease it in like the credits or something. But no, there's nothing like that in the credits of any of the issues. But I am going to talk about the author's page because the authors are amazing in this book. Like I love, like there's one point in like the third issue when the dude literally gives us homework. I'm just gonna read it. Let's see. Like the first one, there is a whole thing about we're a writer we're writer doing an interview with the creative consultant in on the book, and he basically, the question goes like, so are you like the James Bond of cooking? And the dude responds, well, no, I'm not the James Bond of cooking. I am more like the Indiana Jones of cooking.
I like that. That's
There-
nice. I also like I find how like the art like I think you're talking about like the full on article that I just found like how flavor works. That's
yes,
amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, those are the ones I'm talking about. Those articles, those interview things at the very end of each issue.
Just talking
All comics
about
have.
food and how it affects you and all of that. You know what? I do wish more books did that.
I did find a homework assignment. Okay, this is what it was. It's homework assignment in advance for the next issue. Next time you're eating anything, dig into the entire flavor, what each of your senses are feeding, where are you, how do you feel, who are you with, what memories are swirling up inside you, what flavor happens in your head, not just on your spoon.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Also goes into like enzymes and stuff at some
Yeah.
one point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You know what? I think we do. I think it's time for this book to come back, just because we need something wholesome in our lives. At some point, we just need something to kind of move us forward.
Yeah.
We haven't. Our lives. While I am eternally grateful for like COVID for just helping me move my ass and start this whole thing with everybody, I do always feel like, hey, I just need something to go right.
That's fair.
I will be continually eternally grateful for everything that COVID's done for me. It is terrible what is happening, but I got to start this thing with my friends, and I am loving every minute of it. Even the minutes where Bree is taking fucking a fucking hour to just do this goddamn show. And while we did go on hiatus for a couple of weeks for Comics and Dragons and Rolling Insight, just to kind of get... it was mainly me just trying to get my head straight. But now that we're back, I really hope we find more wholesome books. Because, I mean, if I look at our massive catalog of Comics and Dragons, we have terrifying things like Berserk, but then we have things like Nimona and all of that, which are amazingly, like, wholesome.
Yeah.
Flavor is an entirely different breed of D&D book that I would love to just make a whole entire playlist for, because it's not just wholesome, it explores the everyday life of other people in D&D worlds. It's not just, hey, look, these are your player characters. Look at them go on a quest. This is, hey, look, this is an NPC you might meet on an adventure, and she's just fully a chef. She knows what she's doing. She's incredible at it. I also like the introduction of, I don't know who it is. It's the dude of the comic where he has a giant sword on his back. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, that was very fun.
I do think that, hey, if Image ever listened to me, hi, I don't know what you're doing here. Bring back Flavor. Bring back a good wholesome book, because what I've been reading is not a lot wholesome. I don't know about you, Bree, but like, the comics I read are not wholesome.
I always try and find at least one wholesome book somewhere in the fabric of time and space. There aren't a lot. There are some.
There are a lot. But I just read a Justice League book that talked about killing Martian Manhunter. Batman killing Martian Manhunter. I love you, Chet, but man.
why is Batman trying to kill Martian Manhunter? Is he under like control or something?
No, I honestly don't know yet because it's the first issue of a Chip Zdarsky book. You don't know what's happening.
That's fair.
I love Chip Zdarsky. No one can ever stop me from being like, hey, if Chip Zdarsky wants to be on the show, that's great for me. But but man, his beginnings are confusing.
Gotta build up the mystery, I guess.
Uh, I do want to talk more about Flavor because I also want to talk about the fucking dog.
Oh, yes, the dog!
The dog is
Oh,
amazing. He's so adorable.
he is. He's very adorable. I really like dog. Oh, there's a really funny scene in which the dog like dude gives it like read this, and then you just see the dog grab the thing and go ruff 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 ruff, and the dude just immediately knows what he meant.
It's the dog is quite literally just R2D2, and you know what? I'll take it.
Fits really well with the art and this everything about it.
Oh my god, the art! I just looked at a panel where a guy puts a fork in some food, and I'm like, damn, that's better than
Yes,
that's better than Food Wars right there.
yeah, there's very good paneling throughout this entire book, and I do
The
enjoy that.
paneling is good. The coloring is good. No one looks impossibly pretty, which I like. And no one like the main character looks very pretty, but it doesn't. She doesn't look like unnatural standards of comic book beauty. She's not Mary Jane with giant, it's sorry, I mean modern Mary Jane.
No, Mary Jane in general, probably.
No, no,
I think
no.
that's
No,
kind
no,
of
no.
almost.
When she was introduced, she was very conservative. Straight red hair, moderate. Anyways, I'm not gonna. This is not the comic book D&D show where we talk about boob sex.
I mean, I would no, never mind.
No, stop right there. You're going to get yourself you're gonna get this whole channel canceled.
We're gonna get age restricted.
Again, I do want to say again. Because YouTube couldn't handle the title Die.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I want to see if that video is still age restricted, by the way. I haven't been able to find Die. Monstrous. See, Monstrous should have been age gated.
Yeah, definitely should have. So should have probably Saga thinking about it, but yeah.
Yeah, Saga definitely. I will. After this, I am going to let Bree know to tell me, hey, to get some good panels just for the show.
That's fair. I've been sending people panels.
Also, Bree, you also have to make the thumbnail for this episode. Boom.
Yeah, I know that already.
Since I have to edit it. Edit it. But yeah, this is a fairly wholesome book that I would genuinely recommend to any new reader or old reader, like the writing is on point, the art is extremely on point. The only thing that I would say, the only criticism is I don't even think I have a criticism for this book. Like when you could make the author's page fun, damn, that's some extra fucking work. It's it's hilarious how much work you put these people put into this book, and I find it insane that this book got canceled.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Our luck, because we're talking about it on the show. It could be like, oh my god, and it's immediately just kind of be like,
Oh, you mean
we're
like
bringing it back
fucking
now.
Stone Star? Hey, Jim, we're talking about Stone Star. All right, I guess I'll write another fucking season. God damn, Jim.
Our show just has that much power.
We
Blah.
get like 5 views per video. But yes, our show actually has that much power.
That's funny. My only problem is okay. Like, I kind of, after reading this, I felt the need because it does end on such a massive fair that like, I need to have a way for this thing to end. So my brain immediately, like when I was sleeping, just like, how could I make this into a D&D campaign? Like, if it were to be one.
The only problem with that is it's not even the action part. You could do a full RP version of D&D where you're just RPing. The only problem would be trying to put magic in this world. While it does, I'm sure it does have magic, and I'm sure it was going to be explored in a volume 2. Uh, there's not a lot of room for it.
Here's the thing. There is a magic element to it. Okay, so like, it's not really even like super magic, but like, part of the actual plot in the story that like, in the place called the Bowl or whatever,
The
which is
bowl.
where everyone, yeah, which is where they live. Like, there's that whole government overreach that's happening,
Yeah, where you can't
and
cook.
yeah, yeah, and there was that whole plot that doesn't really go anywhere about this boy who like does something like illegal. He gets put in prison for it, but instead of being put in prison, they ended up killing him and like sending his magic to something else. We don't know what though. We don't know what, and gives us an implication that um like it is in relation. It has something to do with the food contest, and the I guess magic. But again, it doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't really like really go in depth on it because again, it's only 6 issues and it got canceled.
I
Like literally, as soon as they started getting into that, when they revealed some things about the character's heritage, it literally ended.
yeah, that makes sense. What I do like, hey, you know what's hilarious? I'm just reading through the books now. There's a full-on crepe recipe.
Oh yes, there is. I remember that. There's a whole plot point about crepes in this book.
I know. I just read that, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then they give you a whole ass crepe recipe. That's fucking awesome. You know what? More books need to do that. More books need to like give you weird shit.
Weird information that you didn't think you needed to know.
Yeah, you know what? I'll totally make that crepe recipe because that is the easiest crepe recipe I've ever seen. But yeah, Uh, do we recommend this book? Hell yeah. Hells yeah. It's a great book, not just for beginners, for people who've read comics all their lives, who've read comics for a long time. It's the art is on point, the writing is on point, and you know what? You get some free fucking recipes, and that's pretty awesome.
Yay!
And also, welcome to season 2 of Comics and Dragons, where we just. I don't think there's going to be. I don't think there's a season, like, thing. I'm just saying, hey, we took a hiatus for a bit, now we're back.
Short season 2 because of that.
Also, I do want to talk about something before we end off. I have a couple things to talk about. First things first, I haven't talked about this in a while. I need to talk about this. Kieran Gillen's The Eternals is amazing. More people need to be reading this. It's so good. It doesn't fit D&D much, but it kind of does. Kieran Gillen has this great way of being like, I'm a huge goddamn nerd. I'm going to play D&D in my comic books. And I'm all for it. So, yes. Read The Eternals. Read Flavor. Most of all, read Flavor. Last thing to talk about. Hey guys, get us to 1,000 subscribers so I can start paying these assholes. We will have, we don't have a live week coming up this month, but I am starting to get all the shows back into working order, which I'm always excited about because I do love talking to these fucking assholes. They are my favorite people in my life right now, so I will always take some kind of moment to talk to them. We're getting Rolling Insight back up. We're getting Comics and Dragons back up. And if they ever want to pitch me some goddamn shows, I'll do it. But we will also be getting Altonian Adventures coming back as soon as we get some ideas. I say Pirate One Shot, but or Kenku One Shot. But yeah, thank you for watching. Both me and Bree just kind of go on a tyrannical rampage about a story that is just fucking wholesome. And I do know how ironic it is when I say fucking wholesome. We will see you guys next week for a new Comics and Dragons. Do we know what it is going to be? Probably not. But you know what? We'll have some fun. Peace.
Yeah. Bye.